Bust out those MP95s because we're going viral with how I create growth content for YouTube. In this video, I'm going to show you my workflow on how I create short, growth-focused content on YouTube quickly. I was originally going to create this video for my friends to help them make content for this channel, but I thought maybe this could be useful to the general public. So what is growth content? This is my term for creating content around timely or relevant subjects to engage in overall discussion and build your audience. So if you haven't gleaned it already, this video is for content creators. But if that's not you, maybe stay tuned. It could be of interest to you. One example of this is my recent 1D&D survey results video. I released this video the day that survey results dropped, which is as viral as we've gotten at this part of our channel's journey. So in order to really grow on YouTube, you do have to create content consistently. So here's how I create short, timely, engaging content to help our channel grow. First, find your topic. The more timely, the better. The more controversial, the better. People, especially here in the US, have a negative information bias, so you can use that trait to focus on emotionally charged topics that people will react to. In this case, 1D&D has a lot of people uneasy, so commenting on the survey results helped us gain some attention and engage with the community. Once you found your subject, whether that's through online research, through Reddit, or some other curation method, you have to come up with a catchy headline. I always start with the headline because it helps inform the angle of your content. If you start with meandering thoughts, it takes time to come to a concise opinion. This is especially true once the camera starts rolling. Start with a catchy headline and then defend or define your position with the content. The intention here is just to hook someone. In the video example I mentioned, I chose a headline that was catchy while flirting with the lines of clickbaity. Unfortunately, this approach is effective, so I try my best to balance how clickbaity I get with this stuff. I do have my morals, after all. Once I've got my headline, in the case of this video, it's how I create growth content on YouTube, I can write a clear script for this. I'm sure I could improve at ad-libbing, but being on camera is hard, so I script, only because I care about putting out great content and not rambling on like a jerk and wasting your time. Speaking of which, I'm a writer by trade and ADHD by birth, so I use an app called IA Writer to minimize distractions when I'm writing. Then I'll switch over to Google Docs and use Grammarly to clean up my copy. But you can use any writing editor. I do recommend that you get your thoughts down as quickly as possible without worrying about editing yourself, spell checking, grammar, any of that. These are absolutely fixable in a review, but when you want to create content quickly, perfection is the enemy of fast. Make sure to close out with a clear call to action. Subscribing and clicking the notification bell, which hey, you should do for this channel, are always great go-tos. But if you have something else you want your viewers to do, ask them directly. I also like to end with a question to get viewers to engage with the content. Ask for their opinions on your opinion, or to disagree, or literally just do anything to engage with it. But if you don't ask, don't expect the comments to start rolling in. You can also play with putting this at the beginning and the end of your video for maximum optimization. Again, I recommend having pre-written copy for this because you're going to be using it often. Get really comfortable with saying it. Once you finish your scripting, go back through now and do a quick edit, remove anything that doesn't add value. When I'm writing, I try to write in the smallest, simplest sentence I can because I'm typically looking between my script and my screen, and I want to be able to remember the words that I'm saying, and that can be hard if you're writing long, rambling sentences. Once you've done all that, it's all about getting your video set up and delivering the lines. Now, recording great video is a little bit beyond the scope of this discussion, but having a nice, clean setup with minimal distractions is a great way to keep your viewers engaged and focused on you. You'll notice that I'm also using a lot of hand gestures as I'm talking. For some weird reason, this is a strange YouTube tip, but it does work. The YouTube algorithm, whether it's based on consumer behavior or something else, favors people who gesticulate. So if you're talking in your videos, make sure you get those digits up, all right? In terms of software, I love OBS for recording these simple types of videos. It also gives me a lot of flexibility to do things in app, so I don't have to do anything in editing later. But for these types of videos, I keep it super simple. I don't do anything. It's just a talking head with a nice background and good audio. But also, if you're not into using OBS, there are tons of other apps that let you just simply record video and audio from your webcam. Once you've delivered your lines, it's time to head over to your favorite video editing software and start snipping it up. If you have pre-made intro and outro templates, which I highly recommend you use, slap those in, give it another review, and then export it to 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second in MP4 format. Once you've done that, you can start uploading it to YouTube, but do make sure to give your video one last review before you upload it. As you're uploading your video, start writing that description based on your headline. Your description should include the keywords of the topic you're focusing on and summarize the content. Include relevant links, calls to action, timestamps, or anything else that you think is linkable that you mention. I also highly recommend using 2 to 3 relevant hashtags at the bottom of your copy that's focused on the topic that you're trying to cover. Don't get crazy with the hashtags. 2 to 3 is enough. Almost done. Finish up by creating a clickbaity thumbnail to accompany your video. The easiest way to do this is to take some time at the before or the end of your recording session to record some stills of your facial expression, your reaction to the topic that you're talking about. You do need a strong thumbnail, and this simple step makes thumbnail creation so much easier. Grab your favorite still, then head over to your preferred graphic editing program. I use an app called Affinity Designer for personal reasons, but you could use Adobe, GIMP, Pixelmator. Others work just fine. You can even use Canva if you're not savvy enough with graphic editing programs, and it's a great free alternative. So next, pop in your image. If you're able, try to separate yourself from the background. There's a bunch of ways to do this. You can outline yourself, you can mask yourself, find out what works for you and your visual style. It's also a great idea to include your logo in this thumbnail if you have one. Next, write out your headline in a bold, eye-catching font that's easy to read. Position it somewhere where it looks nice. You can't go wrong with the rule of thirds. Then export your image and upload it to YouTube. The best image size for thumbnails is 1920 by 1080. Once you're done with that, you can go through the other YouTube publishing options, including linking to other videos. As I mentioned, I recommend having a pre-created template for this. It makes this part so much faster while encouraging your viewers to engage with your other content. Now just let your video upload, finish processing, set when you want it to go live, and that's it. Monitor your video in YouTube Creator Studio to see how it's resonating with audience. And make sure to respond to comments as they come in to show that you're really engaged with your viewers. And if the video doesn't pan out or get the engagement that you wanted, don't worry, it happens. Not every video is going to get a ton of views or engagement. It's the name of the game. By focusing on short, efficient content that you can create quickly, it does vastly improve your chances to score with more viral content. The other advantage of this method, especially for small channels like ours, is it helps get our subscriptions and overall view time up to a point where we can unlock some better content creator tools within YouTube, which is a goal we've set for ourselves for this year. So what do you think? Is this an effective method for growing your channel? Or are we just contributing to the detritus of the internet? You tell us in the comments below. Vote with your thumbs and remember to ring that notification bell to get more creator-focused content from us. Got a new series that I'm working on that I'm really excited about around D&D podcasting. So stay tuned for that, along with other great clickbaity videos. If you're into Dungeons & Dragons, head over to plus1togaming.com for more D&D focused character building resources, DM tips, tools, actual plays, and more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.